What's up, everybody? I'm Matt Brody, and this is Simply Must Go, and I have a confession. There's something I haven't told you, but we're going to have to talk about it because, well, there's another Jeep in the family that I've hinted at it, but you haven't really seen yet. So we got this XJ. It's actually for my son. This is his daily driver, but he wanted a Jeep. He wanted square headlights. My heart be still. Anyway, he wanted to get an XJ. Super excited about it. We've done some things to it already that had to hit my buddy Rob to do. Things like U-joints and some other like mechanical things to get it to kind of where we want it. But from here, we're pretty much taking over and doing most of the work on this ourselves. And today, we're going to be doing a super electrical upgrade, installing brand new Jeep cables and a JS Alternator on his 95 XJ. So let's get into it. If you're not familiar with JeepCables is a US manufacturer. Everything is made in the United States, and they make kind of an electrical system upgrade. So they basically are upgrading all of your positive and negative cables in your vehicle from stock to handle either higher outputs from bigger alternators or just to fix a lot of the electrical problems that are inherent in some of these older Jeeps, because you end up with bad grounds or bad cables. They actually started their whole business upgrading their XJ. So their XJ kit is what their whole company was built on. And this is it. So it's going to be brand new power and ground cables. There's some new fuses in here. All of it's upgraded. You get the option of picking out different kinds of looms or sleeves. I'm not exactly sure what they call it, but we went with green and black to kind of go with the theme that this XJ is going to be. And this is going to be a super upgrade to making sure that his electrical system is working properly. The other huge electrical upgrade that we're doing is this JS Alternator. JS Alternator is also an American-made company. They're out of Greenville, South Carolina, and they make upgraded alternators to provide the kind of power that a lot of the Jeeps and things that they kind of need once you start adding things like winches and lights and all these other electrical accessories. And so we wanted to add the alternator first, and this is in the fractured green powder coating that they have, which is super cool that you can get it kind of color matched to your vehicle and things like that. But one of the reasons we had to do the Jeep cables is because this puts out a lot more amperage than the stock alternator does. So I think this one is 230 amps, which is why we're also going with the bigger Jeep cables. And these two companies recognize how amazing they both are and have partnered together. So when you buy a bigger alternator and you've got to get bigger cables, they're pushing you to JeepCables too, because they're the best. So we're going to get this stuff installed and show you step by step, as best we can, how we're doing it.
The first thing we're going to do is remove the battery and the battery tray so we can get to the alternator. That's funny. Yeah, not the stupid 12 to 13. Yeah, that's a 13 right there.
Yeah, so the nice thing about this is we get to put everything back to at least consistent sizes instead of whatever jerry-rig nonsense is in here. There we go.
That's the battery out.
We'll need to remove this bolt and this bolt. This one I'm not sure because there's a cutout around it, but I'm not sure if that's actually in the tray or not. So we'll leave that for last, but definitely these two. Well, we got the tray out, and as you can see, it was a little bit of a project. We had some broken bolts and some rust to deal with. So we're going to take a minute and also kind of prep this and put some rust stop on that area just to prevent it from getting any worse. But that'll be a project for another day. So we're going to install the alternator before we install all the Jeep cables. And part of installing the alternator means we have to loosen up the serpentine belt or possibly take it off in order to release the tension to get the alternator out. And for whatever reason, like we've looked at a bunch of other videos online, and everyone makes it look really simple and easy because they usually have the grill off or the fans out. We can't get to the bolts that loosen the pulley well. So we're going to remove the air box out to give us some room to move, because all of this stuff, instead of coming from the top, it's got to come from the side, and there's just not a lot of room. So we're taking the air box out in order to give ourselves some room. There's probably a better way to do it. You may not have to do it on yours because different models of XJs have things in different places. This 95 Country seems to have it in a place that's not super convenient. So anyway, just note that when you do this, that you're going to have to, if you're doing the alternator, you know, take your serpentine belt off or at least loosen it enough, and you may have to get creative with finding ways to get to the spots you need to get to. There we go. Now we have more room to get in there because we've got to get into this bolt that's under here. It's hard to see right now. There's a little bolt right under there, and that's where we got to get to. All right, so we got the serpentine belt loosened up. In order to do that, we had to loosen this bolt here, and then there are two bolts in the back, one here and then one that's down there that allow it to sort of slip and slide a little bit, and then the actual adjustment bolt is down here. So we got that all loosened up, and now it's time to take out the alternator. All right, so we need two 15 millimeters. I don't have two 15 millimeters, so we got the vice grips on one. It's a 15 millimeter. We're gonna loosen that up, and then we're gonna take the bolts out of the bottom, and we're gonna do that so that it doesn't fall on our heads when we take it out the bottom. So that bottom alternator bolt is giving us some fits. It's kind of crusty on there, so he's fighting it with the breaker bar. He's got it. It's just slow going, but that's going to be indicative, I think, of every project we do on this Jeep. All right, we got that bottom bolt out. It was a pain, but it finally came out. So we've got the alternator loose now. The trouble is that there's actually not enough room to get the alternator out of here because of the alternator brackets. We're a little confused because everything else we've seen, there was plenty of room just to pull the alternator out, but in our case, it is hard locked between the frame and that bracket. So I guess we're going to take the bracket off too and see if we can maneuver this whole thing out. It's really kind of frustrating. So show me where this bracket is real quick.
Can you get it? This dumb black bracket.
No, I can't.
It's free!
That was a pain in the butt.
Yeah, honestly. I could throw this off of a mountain right now.
All right, so the alternator is out, and now we're going to move over to starting to do the Jeep cables, because I think it's going to be a little bit easier to run some of that cabling without the alternator in place, and then do that bit, putting the new alternator in last. One of the great things about the Jeep cables is that each cable is labeled with exactly where it goes. So you got like the fender and the alternator, and then on the other side, you can see that that would go to the battery and the fuse, and then you have them labeled black and red also for the negative and the positive. All right, so to start with the Jeep cables, we're going to kind of go cable by cable, starting with the ground that goes into the fender here, which is not a great ground. We'll probably clean that up. And then to the engine block, and then there's another ground here, which is like the weakest little fabric ground in the whole world. We'll replace that, and then we'll move on to the power cables. So we're putting some electrical grease on the tips of each of these ends. You don't have to, it's just one of those little extra things that we're going to do just to make sure that we try to prevent as much corrosion as possible. So next up we're going to do the engine block to the battery, and that is right down there. Shouldn't be too hard to get to.
Come on, hands. That's finger tight.
Alright, so next up we're going to do the firewall to the cylinder, and that's this little sort of cloth ground that's back here. That's a 15 millimeter. Alright, so that's where the cylinder ground is, and you can see the cloth cable come down here, and there's the cylinder ground. It's underneath that nut. It's a little bit hard to get to, but it's not terrible. So for the record, that is a 17 millimeter that's back there, and it's just really hard because it takes kind of a deep socket to get over the bolt that's through that, and there's just not much room on top, so it's just it's a tight fit to get in there for sure.
Okay guys, so we finally got this wire out. As you can see, very flimsy and pretty poorly built, but this is the JeepCables one, and check out that difference.
You can run this behind the other wiring harness, but Will thought it looked cooler to highlight it on the outside, so that's what we're going with. But you can wire that and route it however you want. So all Jeep cables are going to come with this sort of fuse, and so we've got the 2 fuse wires put in. We kind of temporarily put this together as like very loose so we can move things around. This end will go to the PDC, and then if you follow this around, this will go to the alternator, which will be down there. So we're just kind of laying things out right now, figuring out exactly where we want to run all the cables. So we're going to run the power cables to the starter now, which is down there, which is actually easier to get to from underneath the vehicle. So Will's under there. There's a couple of different connections to the wiring harness that we got to undo. So there's a connection down here that we're going to undo, and then undo the power at the starter, and we'll pull this whole harness up and out once we do that. But yeah, so that's going there and then straight to the starter. There is another cable that comes out of that at some point, and we're not quite sure what that is, so we'll have to see if we're keeping that or not. Work on cars, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Yeah.
Check out the back of your head, baby.
I'm sure I'm covered. It absolutely. So getting the power cable off the starter was a little bit of a chore and a little dirty. But here's what we've discovered in this, is that this has a dual sort of bracket on the end of it that went to the starter. So there's the power, and then I honestly don't know. I guess this is like from the ignition or something like that that's telling it to do that. Anyway, we only need to keep this. So I'm debating on whether we keep the whole bracket and then just do the Jeep cables kind of on top of it, which seems like the easiest solution, and just cutting this power cable off. So what we decided to do is sort of cut off the nub there that attached that power cable to the starter, and just sort of bypassing all of the stuff there, because it was kind of crusty, and this way it's just the other wire that's in there. We'll kind of paint over that so it doesn't rust all up inside of there, and we cut off the power cable there too. So we're really just sort of making a giant little bracket for that one little cable. So next we're going to take off the original power cable to the power distribution center and put on the new Jeep cable. Alright, we got all the power run down to the starter. That was pretty easy. It's coming up. We took a couple minutes to kind of figure out where all the actual cables were going to live. We've got the PDC to the big fuse. This cable will go to the alternator, which we're about to start installing. And then we've got our ground from the fender up, and then the ground from the engine block. And then we've got our other ones here. So the battery will live here, like that. Ultimately, it only took us about 3 hours to do the Jeep cables. Probably would have taken us less if we weren't filming and trying to plan out some things and learning as we went with this Jeep, because there's things we just don't know. Also, it's kind of filthy and dirty. But anyway, that's part of the fun. Yeah, so now we just got to do the alternator, and hopefully this thing will be back up and running. All right, so we are in the home stretch, but there's a couple other things we have to do. First of all, we've got to wire in a new plug for the alternator. So the stock alternator had this old style kind of ground plug thing where it was grounded here, and then, you know, the plug for the stuff was here, and then you had the power cable. The new alternator has where the power would go, but it's got a new updated style plug. So we'll need to cut the original wiring and wire in the plug for that. Shouldn't be too hard. So this is the original plug for the alternator, and it's got the grounds here, which we'll replace, and then it's got these two cables, which is what we will splice into the plug. So we're going to cut this off here and then undo all the tape to separate that harness, and then we'll wire it in. So we got those two wires soldered together and then nicely loomed. Keep it nice and protected there. I will say that there is a good chance that we did not, because the original wire was green with a red stripe and green, and this is a black and green wire, that there's a good chance that these are not the right polarity. If that's the case, then we'll just have to pop the little pins out and then reverse them without having to rewire everything. All right, you ready to put the alternator in?
Yep, let's do it.
All right, here we go. All right, which bracket do you need first? As Will's bolting that down, I do want to mention that this alternator needs its own ground, and so we're grounding it here to the engine block. There is not a Jeep cable for that. We just went to the parts store and grabbed a basic ground in 4 gauge because that's what they had, but that'll be fine for just grounding the alternator. If you weren't changing the alternator, you wouldn't need to change any of this stuff. You would just put the Jeep cables in and be done. But this beefier alternator needs a beefier ground. With the alternator installed, it was time to put in a new serpentine belt, and we did need to do a new serpentine belt because the pulley on the JS alternator is smaller, which is one of the things that helps it create more amperage. But that means our serpentine belt actually had to be about an inch shorter than the original.
There's one that might have just slipped under.
You just have to get on that.
There
Okay.
we go.
So we just need to... All right, we got everything put back together and run as best we could for what we were doing. Batteries all back in, all that kind of stuff. We're going to check it, and then we'll do some final zip tying of some things, but we've got to make sure that that alternator cable plug that we did is correct. So we're going to test that real quick now that everything's back, and then we will see how we did. All right, we lost all of our light last night, so instead we're going to show you this today, all buttoned up. Everything is put back together, and we're going to start it up and test it out. All right, crank her up.
So I've been driving it around for a couple days now with the new alternator installed, and it's been running way better than it ever has before. Before at idle, the RPMs would just drop and the engine would feel dead, but now it's like super alive and it doesn't die on me because it's actually turned off before. Doesn't do it anymore. Also, the lights have gotten significantly brighter, and my voltage isn't going crazy all over the place like it used to.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up button. If you learned something, go ahead and subscribe. We're going to do a lot more with this XJ and the YJs and all the other builds. We got some overlanding trips coming up. All the things are moving full steam ahead. But anyway, comment down below what you think, and I will leave links to both JS Alternator and Jeep Cables in the description for you if you're interested in going there and checking them out. Until next time, God bless, and we will see you in the next video. Do the thing. That's not the thing.
What's the thing?
The thing.
Oh.
You gotta do the thing.
Oh.
Do it.
Okay.